I overheard my girlfriend defending me, using a story I know never happened. I was standing in her hallway holding groceries when I heard my name from the kitchen. I wasn't snooping. I just let myself in early like usual. But then she said something that made me stop cold. He basically raised his little brother, she was telling someone. His parents checked out early. That's why he's so guarded. I don't have a little brother. My parents are fine. There's no tragic childhood she could be referencing. Yet she sounded completely confident, like she was stating a fact. I didn't interrupt. I just stood there listening. She kept going, talking about trauma, about how I don't open up easily, about how I trust her with things I don't tell anyone else. Whoever she was talking to, I later realized it was her friend Marissa, sounded convinced almost immediately. I set the groceries down quietly and went into the bathroom, trying to process what I'd just heard. It wasn't just a small exaggeration. It was a whole fictional backstory. And somehow she'd positioned herself as the one person I trusted enough to share it with. When she finished the call, she acted completely normal. Kissed me hello, thanked me for the groceries, asked about my day. No guilt, no hesitation. That normalcy unsettled me more than if she'd looked nervous. So instead of confronting her right away, I asked casually who she'd been talking to. She said Marissa, rolled her eyes about dating drama, and told me she'd defended me. She kept the explanation vague. No mention of brothers or trauma, just that I'm private and people misread that. I let it go outwardly, but I couldn't shake it. That night, I kept replaying her words, and once I started thinking about it, other moments resurfaced. Times she'd hinted to friends that I'd had a lot going on growing up. Times she framed my quietness as emotional depth rather than just personality. Little things I'd brushed off before. Curiosity eventually got the better of me. While she was in the shower the next morning, I checked her phone. Not proud of it, but I needed context. In her group chat with friends, I searched my name. There were months of conversations where I was basically a character. Nothing wildly dramatic, but consistent hints. Complicated family, past hardships, trust issues. Enough to make her look like the supportive girlfriend helping me heal. One friend even wrote, "It's sweet how patient you are with him." Another said they admired how she held space for my past. She'd responded with heart emojis. That part hit hardest. She wasn't just telling a lie once. She was maintaining it. And the version of me they believed was sympathetic. A little wounded, a little mysterious. Easier to root for than a guy who's just reserved sometimes. Over the next week, I noticed how she framed things socially. If I declined plans, she'd imply I was overwhelmed. If I got quiet, she'd touch my arm like I was fragile. If someone teased me, she'd add context that made me sound more complex than I actually am. It was subtle, plausible, but intentional. Eventually, I confronted her, told her I heard the call and knew about the story. She didn't deny it outright. She said Marissa had been judging me, assuming I was distant or uninterested. According to her, the backstory gave people empathy. "You'd rather they think you're cold?" she asked. "That's not your call," I said. She framed it as protection, as translation, like she was helping people understand me. But when I asked why she invented specifics, the brother, the neglect, she said people need context, not just, "That's how he is." Then she said something that stuck with me. "I made you look human." That bothered me more than the lie itself, because apparently being normal wasn't enough. I needed a struggle to justify my personality. The situation got messier when I realized she'd told her family similar things. At her dad's birthday dinner, her mom hugged me like I'd survived something. An aunt told me I was safe there. People treated me with this softness I didn't ask for. Later, I asked what she'd said to them. She admitted she'd implied I had complicated family issues. Not specific, but suggestive. "And the brother?" I asked. She hesitated. then said she might have blurred details. Her explanation stayed consistent. She wasn't trying to hurt me. She was managing perception, making social situations smoother, helping people see me positively. And honestly, part of me understands that impulse. Everyone shapes how their partner is perceived. We all add context. But inventing trauma crosses a line I can't quite articulate, because it doesn't just change how people see me. It changes how they treat me. They excuse things, pity things, interpret silence differently. It shifts dynamics without my consent. We didn't break up. We didn't fully resolve it either. She apologized in that careful way where the apology is conditional. Sorry you're upset, sorry she misread what mattered to me. She said she'd stop. She also said people will fill gaps anyway, and she just filled them kindly. I don't know if that's true or just justification. Things have mostly gone back to normal on the surface, but I'm hyper-aware now. Every time she explains me to someone, I wonder how much is interpretation versus invention. And the weirdest part? The fictional version of me she created isn't entirely negative. It makes people more patient with me, more forgiving, which leaves me stuck in a strange place. Because correcting the story publicly would create drama and raise questions. Ignoring it means living inside a narrative I never chose. I still can't decide whether she crossed a serious boundary or just handled social friction in a way I don't personally like. I also don't know if she fully understands why it bothers me, or if she thinks I'm being overly sensitive about something meant to help. All I know is hearing your own life rewritten, even in a flattering way, does something unsettling. And now I can't stop wondering what else she said about me when I wasn't there to hear it.